is good, everyone? This is your host, Deanna Kuempel of Label Free Podcasts. To live your best life, you must live label free. I'm super excited. We've got a very colorful, awesome guest today. Her name is Breanna Gunn. She's zooming in from Lansing, Michigan. Breanna Gunn is the CEO of Breanna Gunn. She's a copywriter and marketing strategist. Thank you for being here, Breanna, and brightening up our day with this yellow that you've got going on. I absolutely love it. Please introduce yourself and tell the audience a little bit about your background.
Sure. Hi, y'all. Thank you so much for having me. I am thrilled to be here. I have been an entrepreneur for 11 years. Before that, I sold cars, cell phones, coffee, you name it, I sold it. And when I realized that there was more opportunity for me as an entrepreneur, I shifted gears and came home and haven't looked back since.
That's awesome. That's really awesome to take that leap. And I love talking to entrepreneurs. That's really kind of what I focus on with my guests. To take that leap and to really just have faith in yourself and to, it's not easy.
No, it's not.
That's a very tough trigger to pull to make that happen. Mm-hmm. So what was that aha moment like, you know what, I'm just done, I'm going to do it?
I was working at a law firm. I've had quite a few different careers in my life.
I was like, a law firm now? Okay, girl.
Yep. No, I actually have a pre-law degree and I was planning on going to law school. And then I realized that attorneys don't do the digging. They don't find the bad guy.
Yeah.
And so I decided not to pursue that path. And I was working for a husband and wife attorney. They specialize in divorce and elder law. So like wills, that kind of stuff. And I was their go-to, like, everything. I was not just the legal assistant. I was also their office admin and everything else. And they're fantastic humans. I love them so much. But I got pregnant and I realized that I couldn't do my job well.
Sure.
And be the mom I wanted to be. And I was trying to figure out how to balance everything. And my mom, of all people, was like, well, I was reading this article in Real Simple. It talks about this website called Hire My Mom. You should look at it. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. That's totally a scam. Cool. And I had an interview with them not less than a month ago. So it's totally a real thing. Went on there and looked for jobs that were similar to what I was doing in the real, quote, real world.
Sure.
Found a job checking email. And slowly said yes to every other thing they asked me to do and learned trial by fire, all of the software, all of the skills. And then, here I am 11 years later and I'm teaching people how to do the things that I had to learn and helping them grow their businesses in a way that is organic and relationship driven, because I feel like in the online space, that's something that we miss. We don't get the handshake communication. We don't get that meet up, especially right now, before we could go to conferences and we could go do all the things and we could go see other entrepreneurs, and we're all really isolated right now. And so I think that when I shifted, I wasn't prepared for how isolating being an entrepreneur can be.
Oh, for sure.
But I also wasn't prepared for meeting all of the incredible entrepreneurs that I've met along the way that have become good friends, family friends, my rock, my support system,
sure.
And finding a totally new community.
Yeah.
And yeah, I haven't looked back. I figured I would try it for 6 months, and 11 years later, I'm still doing it. So
that's amazing. So I'm sure during those 11 years, it wasn't always easy. Do you have?
Oh no, it's still not easy.
This is true because you're doing it all, right? You're a solopreneur.
I do have a small team, but I'm mostly a solopreneur. Like I do have a junior copywriter, but I do all of our sales copy. I do all of the planning, all of the preparation, all of the funnel outlines and structures. I do pay someone to do my social media because Instagram and I don't get along.
I don't blame you, because that's another job. But you have to be on it though. Mm-hmm. It is such a powerful tool if you know how to leverage it. And so like you have to do it. So I wish I could hire someone to do it, but I can't. I'm not there yet.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I think hiring smart makes a big difference, and hiring to your weaknesses. My dad always said to hire people who are smarter than you.
Yeah.
And I've lived and died by that core tenet that the people that I hire need to, like my junior copywriter has a journalism degree. She's brilliant.
Wow.
And she's better at nurture copy than I am, to be completely honest, which is great because I hate writing nurture copy.
You're keeping it real. I love it. That's awesome.
Can I do it? Yeah. Am I good at it? Yes. Should I be doing it? Should I spend my energy there? No.
Right. Yeah.
You
so when you're an entrepreneur, you tend to realize where your time is more valuable at. And so if you can hire someone to take that load off and you can do other things, that is definitely very smart. And I think maybe that's a lot of entrepreneurs miss the boat because you can be a little bit of a control freak. I know I was, or I am. I've learned to not be so much anymore. I'm a much better leader these days than I was in the past, but it's hard to let go of that control.
It is. And I'm like diagnosed OCD. So my level of needing to control things is very high. But it's so funny. Like I've worked for some really, really awful people.
Okay.
Both before entrepreneurship and during, you have those clients where you're like, if you could just like jump off a bridge, that'd be great.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
But you smile and you suck it up and you finish the contract and you do it, and then you just don't renew, or you find an elegant way to exit, or you part paths. And because I've dealt with people who just don't appreciate you,
sure,
I try so hard to make sure that my clients, my helpers, my everyone who I connect with, and in any way, I want them to feel appreciated, because, even this is your time you're taking out to have me on your podcast. And I appreciate you for that. And it's the small things like that, I think, that make you a real leader over being able to delegate and boss people around. It's the stepping up piece. It's the appreciation. It's understanding that this is not a hobby. This is, if you're going to build a business, you need to step into that leadership energy and really embody it.
Sure.
Or things fall apart.
Yeah. I love that. That was some really good advice. If you're gonna, that was really good.
Thanks.
Boom. That was awesome. Why don't you share maybe one of the hardest moments during your becoming an entrepreneur? And then we're going to talk about all the stuff that you offer and the things that you do for your clients.
Sure.
Because I think that's important to talk about, especially if someone's out there listening. If you're listening, you're thinking about becoming an entrepreneur. It's not easy, but it's always worth it. And if you at first you don't succeed, try again, because I don't think of any of my past. I wouldn't say failure. I don't believe in failure. I think they're.
I don't either. Yeah.
Right. I believe they're learning lessons. So I try to be a fashion designer. That I did not succeed.
I could totally see that though.
From a monetary
style.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm all about it. Like my outfit girl. Yeah. Oh, and hair. See my fun nails.
I love them. Those are so cute. I love the pink and the green together. That's awesome.
It's actually I guess it's kind of green. It's that's what it came out to. But I did the fashion design thing. I loved it. I created 3 collections. I was on the runway in Rhode Island. I was a finalist for the Cadillac Design Challenge here, but I never was able to get it off the ground monetarily. And it cost me a lot of money, but I had a lot of fun. And I created a name for myself. But I said, after 3 collections, if I cannot start making money off of this, I can't keep throwing good money after bad, as much as I love it. You know what I mean? It's like the starving artist, which is fine. Eventually the artist makes it, but and that was debilitating. That was hard because it was a blow to my ego. And I'm like, am I a failure because I didn't make it? But now it's like, no, I wasn't a failure. I chased my dream. That was a dream of mine, and I made it happen. At the end of the day, I didn't make any money off of it, but I made my dream come true.
Yeah. I mean, I've started my business twice. I actually shut everything down about 5 years ago. My son was very, very sick, and I had to make a choice of, he's fine now, for anyone who's concerned. He's a totally healthy, normal 10-year-old. But when he got sick, I was pregnant with my second, and I had to make a choice. I'd increased my client load. I was making good money. I was making more than I'd ever made at my regular 9-to-5 job. but I couldn't serve my clients on the level I wanted to serve them at and be the mom I needed to be in that moment.
Sure.
You know, when you have a sick family member, things you have to reprioritize. And so I was lucky enough that I had clients who were incredibly understanding. And so when I called them and said, listen, I've got to step away. Like I can't keep doing this. I have to step away. They not only said, well, when you're ready to come back, your position's available for you.
Oh my
Like
God.
we'll find, right. We'll find someone, but, cause it wasn't even like I'm giving 2 weeks. It was like, I'm done as of today.
Yeah. Wow.
And, when I was ready to come back, they welcomed me back with open arms.
That's good.
It was
That
great.
says a lot about you. That says a lot about you and the relationships that you've built.
Well, and I think it goes back to that leadership energy, right? Even if they are your client, the way you respect and treat others,
yeah,
directly affects how your business grows and breathes and how you grow as a human. And so I think, you know, when I rebuilt, I made sure that that's why I have my helpers, as I call them, my contractors, because that way, if I want to take a vacation, if I need to step away, I'm not truly solo. So I have people who can support my business. Like I was gone for 4 days. I worked a little bit, but I definitely didn't work more than an hour a day. And my team still produced 90% of what needed to be produced this week.
That's awesome.
You know, and
that's smart.
Right. It's smart business. And it's something that I had to learn because I had to shut everything down because I didn't have any support. I didn't have anyone I could lean on, you know, and I realized previously I'd been working crazy hours. You know, I had a 3-year-old and I was pregnant and I was working literally anytime the kids were down for a nap, anytime the kids were occupied and playing, anytime my husband was watching TV.
Yeah.
So I was working 16, 18-hour days.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And looking back, I was making peanuts, you know? And so when I restructured everything, I stopped doing hourly and I only do packages.
Okay.
I made a lot of choices to change the business model to something that served me better. And I think I'm better for it now because I've done the hustle, like the true hustle where, you know, you're quote on a beach on vacation, right? Yeah. And that's not to say we don't hustle now, but if you structure things properly, you can achieve a good work-life balance. I'm not saying I'm perfect. Like, do I have late calls some days? Yes, absolutely. But, you know, I think the biggest lesson I took away from that was if things aren't working, it's okay to stop and reassess and restructure. Doesn't mean you have to do what I did and shut everything completely down, but give yourself a little bit of space. Take a couple of days and step back from your business and evaluate what's actually working for you and what's not. Yeah. So that you can grow. Because the thing is especially if you're like me and you're almost a solopreneur, mm-hmm. You are your business. And if you don't put structures and systems in place early, you build this monster that's almost unattainable because it, you know, especially if you're good at what you do, your business can grow a lot faster than you can handle.
Sure. Yeah.
And, you know, you either end up working, you know, 16, 18-hour days or you crack.
Yeah.
And for me, it wasn't that I cracked. It was that, you know, the universe was like, you need a break here.
Yeah.
Here is the break.
Yeah.
You don't have a choice about this.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that I'm far better off now because I appreciate every single human who helps me, every single human who I could come into communication with. Whereas before it was, you know, yes to everything, which isn't a bad thing, but I had no boundaries.
Well, that's not a good thing.
So no, it's not.
I'm a yes person too, but I do have my boundaries. When somebody's like, I'm just like, if it does not align with where I'm comfortable, then I'm like, nope. All right.
And I am now for sure. But before it was like, you know, oh, by the way, I need this by Tuesday and it's Monday at 3:00. And okay, sure. Yeah, I'll do it because I didn't understand that the right clients aren't going to be upset if you say, I can absolutely do that. If you want that by tomorrow, I'm not going to be able to complete XYZ.
Right. Yeah.
Instead of trying to get it all done.
Yeah.
And that was a really hard lesson for me to learn. I put myself in the hospital twice with pneumonia, just overworking.
Oh my goodness, girl.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I was,
Good.
no, it wasn't. And I really do think the universe was like, you need to stop.
Yeah. For
And
sure.
they were like, here is a giant roadblock that you can't get around anymore.
Yeah.
You can't fudge this. You know, and it's really forced me to have healthier boundaries around my business.
And create better processes and
Yes, the process is fantastic. And hiring people that are smarter than me, you know, hiring people who can handle the pieces that I'm not so great at or I don't want to do anymore. The pieces that you know are monetarily not worth my time. Not that everything isn't worth my time, but you know, me making sure that all of the emails in my inbox get sorted properly is probably not the best use of my time.
Right. Yeah, I would agree.
Right. You know, so I have someone who does that for me, which is awesome because I go into my inbox and there's like the 3 emails I need to read and nothing else.
Oh, that is awesome.
Oh my
Can you
God.
send her over my way or whoever that is?
Yes, I will totally make you an introduction. She's fantastic. She brings me to inbox 0 twice a day. It's,
oh my goodness, that's fantastic.
it's magical. And then she made me a little folder that's like my folder. So anything I need to see, it's in my folder, and I look at maybe 30 emails in a day now versus the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds that I was looking at.
Oh wow, that's amazing. Wow.
It's given me back so much. I can't
How
even
does she
now.
organize that? Well, wait, that's a side conversation. Let's stay on track with you.
Yeah.
So I want to focus. I want to shift gears and focus on what it is that you offer your clients.
Sure.
You do for you as an entrepreneur. So like I said, like I introduced, you're a copywriter. I can't talk either today. Marketing strategist. So it says here that you also use internet marketing, parenting. Oh, as a parent, networking, and then LinkedIn. So let's talk about the internet marketing and how you help your clients with that.
So we are in a space where we have no choice but to market on the internet, right? We have to be online, and we're trying to take the marketing laws and marketing rules that we learned in face-to-face business and translate them into the online space. And a lot of it doesn't translate well. You know, you can't have a handshake deal on the internet. That's just not something that's really done. And so I'm on a mission to help you build relationship before the sale, because then the sale becomes so much easier. And so my focus on the internet marketing side is all about relationship building and building trust and building that, oh, I know that person factor, so that you don't come at it like a stranger and you're like, hi, marry me now, please. And then people are like, oh, you're super weird. Like, no. You know, so it's also the strategy behind, you know, what to post, when to post, how to support the post.
Yeah.
Like, where do you show up? It's figuring out what works for each person, because even though it feels like we have to be everywhere at once, we really, really don't.
Yeah.
We absolutely don't have to be everywhere at once. And so it's helping my clients realize that, you know, if you are getting massive traction on Clubhouse, stick to Clubhouse. If you are getting massive traction on LinkedIn or on Instagram or on Facebook, put more energy there. Let's figure out what's working and dive deeper rather than trying to fix what's broken. And I think that's a different philosophy than a lot of people have.
Well, yeah, for sure. I would say for myself, that's a different philosophy than I have, because I'm on everything. I'm actually not that active on Clubhouse as I should be, but I've never heard a marketing person say that before.
Yeah, I think everyone, I think the rule quote, and I'm using air quotes, I know nobody can see me right now, but I'm like over here, like air quotes.
We'll see it when I release the episode, but
right. But like, yeah, if they're just listening on Apple or Stitcher or something, they're not going to see me do my
no.
But I think that in the marketing world, we have gotten so stretched that we aren't able to delve deeper where things are working. And so it's like we don't even have the capacity to be able to do more in that space. Like I'm everywhere too, but I hire out a large portion of it. I have someone else who handles my Instagram. I have someone else who handles my LinkedIn. I have someone else who handles my Facebook. Everything is pre-scheduled. It's all very strategic. And like with my clients, you know, I have clients who aren't on Facebook at all, or they're only on Twitter, or they love Instagram, but it's not working. We have to have a really hard conversation about the fact that, okay, where did you find your last 5 clients? Oh, it was on Facebook. Okay, then we really need to let Instagram go. Because should you continue to try and grow it? Absolutely, if you have time. But if you need clients tomorrow, Instagram is not going to be it.
Yeah.
You know, I have a lot of people who are like, how are you making money on Clubhouse? And I tell everyone, I attend networking rooms. I am in every networking room I'm able to be in every day of the week.
You personally are?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And
it's a time waster. I mean, I love the premise, but it is a time waster. It
totally can be. I've found that, at least for Clubhouse, the networking rooms where they give you a 60-second stand-up where you can say, hi, I'm Bree. I'm a marketing strategist and copywriter. I'm looking for coaches, consultants, whoever who need help in this arena, or I'm looking for people I want to guest on podcasts, or I want this. I've gotten clients, actual like paid clients from doing that. It's not because I'm in all the rooms. It's because I'm very strategic with my time. That's great. You know, with TikTok, I'm on TikTok. Am I on TikTok all the time? No, I use TikTok literally to make a reel.
Okay.
Download it, and then I put the reel on Instagram because I'm actually getting traction on Instagram. I have a lot of followers on TikTok, but they're not engaged.
Sure.
So it's getting strategic with how we leverage our different areas. And I think that's different, because when you focus on, you know, if your podcast is where you get the most engagement, you get people emailing you and reaching out to you and doing all the things, you know, double down and put more effort into that piece, because your people will respond.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's as simple as saying, you know, if you listen to this, like it, comment on it, do something so that we know you saw it. And, you know, I think the old advice of you need to be everywhere in order to be successful is bad advice.
Yeah, or at least put your resources towards what avenue is working the best for
you.
Right,
like I find the majority of my clients on LinkedIn.
Okay.
So it makes sense for me to spend more of my day on LinkedIn when I know I can close a $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 month if I just do the work.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants to, just out of curiosity, if somebody wants you to work just on their social media marketing, what does that look like in terms of like an agreement or contract that they would sign with you?
So typically the only social media platform I teach is LinkedIn. I teach it in a 90-day group program. It's $3,000, and I walk you literally step by step through the exact process that I use in my own business. It's the same process that I've used to close $80,000 in 60 days. I've closed $20,000 a month the last 3 months. I cleared $110,000 last year, even with everything going on, through LinkedIn.
Amazing. Good for you, girl. Yes. Yeah, babe. Go.
Yeah, so I teach people how to go onto LinkedIn and network in a really unique way.
Okay.
I do help people with other platforms, but typically that agreement is more holistic for their business. They want a marketing funnel. They want like the whole shebang. They want the lead magnet or the opt-in, and they want the email sequence that warms people up, and they want to be able to sell on autopilot or have an evergreen funnel. And so it's usually a larger process where social media is the catalyst and not the focus.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I have, you know, if people out there are wanting a platform, especially if you're a coach or a consultant or a service provider, where there is literally money on the table waiting to be picked up, look into LinkedIn. For like, if it's not me, find a mentor who understands how the platform works, because people on LinkedIn are ready to spend. They're ready to invest. They're there to have business transactions. It's the closest thing I've found to a networking event.
That's amazing. So I talked to a lot of coaches. You should go through like a lot of all my previous episodes.
I was listening to it on my drive.
All their contact information is in there. You should reach out to them and, you know, just get, I don't know if you have a newsletter.
I do.
Or say, I saw you, I saw you, I listened to you on Deanna's podcast. I was recently a guest on hers and she told me to reach out. Just blame it on
I
me.
will. Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's great advice, because I'm sure everybody's looking to figure out ways to make more money, obviously. And if this is if you offer them a vehicle on how to do that, then it's a win-win for everyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before I start wrapping things up, let's I'm gonna, oh, I like this one, ask you one last question, and then
Okay.
I'm gonna you plug all your stuff. What is the biggest lesson you've learned?
That I don't know everything.
You're here.
I think it's so important to remember that this is a journey and we're learning. And I'm like you, I don't believe in failure. I don't believe in mistakes. I believe in lessons. And so I think that understanding and going through this growth process in your business, being totally real and saying, I don't know everything, will help you grow so much faster, because you're not trying to pull the wool over your own eyes, and you're always looking for the next best opportunity or the next expert or the next thing,
Yeah.
because you understand the need for growth.
Yeah. Awesome. Very, very good. Breanna, you've been fantastic. A lot of great advice that you've dropped. Can you please let the audience know where they can find you if they want to reach out to you to use your services? And all of my previous guests, I've told her to reach out. So
I will be reaching out to everyone, and it'll say, Deanna said I need to talk to you.
Yeah, because I think you have some great tools they can use. So please let everybody know where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me online at breannagunn.com. You can also find me at the Breanna Gunn on all social platforms, and on LinkedIn, I'm just Breanna Gunn.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for being a guest, Breanna. We'll have to have you back for a follow-up and see how much your business has grown and all the amazing things that you're doing, and
I would love that.
Your team and all that great stuff. But all right, you guys, this is your host, Deanna Kuempel, with Label Free Podcast. To live your best life, you must live label free. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And I'll be back very soon with more dynamic guests.